All right. Well, hey, everybody. Today is day 2 of the 14 days where we're going to be discussing all things identity theft, especially because this is the high time for identity theft. Why? Because we're heading into Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. And so it's important now more than ever that we understand what is identity theft, who's doing it, how they're doing it, prevention tips. And we're also going to be talking about over the next handful of days how businesses are affected by identity theft and things they can do also to thwart against it. So we talked about, if you haven't seen the first day, which was yesterday, day 1 of 14 days, where we talked about the first 2 areas of identity theft. In fact, it was a great conversation. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go check that out, because today we're going to be talking about the fastest growing crime. And we're going to be talking about the second 2. So yesterday we talked about driver's license identity theft. Then we talked about Social Security identity theft. Today we're going to talk about medical and character identity theft. So let's just hop right into it. So what is medical identity theft? Well, gosh, I don't know what I would do if I needed access to health insurance and maybe I was laid off and didn't have any, and I needed to get access, or I had a sick kid or friend that did. I don't know what I would do. But we do know that thieves are looking at your medical identity, and it is a great way for them to, one, sell it on the dark side of the web, or be able to use it. And think about it. If someone was using your insurance, your health insurance, and getting treatments, would you guys agree your rates could go up? So maybe they're being treated for something like diabetes or AIDS or you name it. And they may not want to get treatment in their own name because it'll make their rates go up. So this is why it's important that we understand why they're perpetrating this. And so you could owe thousands of dollars. So imagine you get this bill in the mail and you have no idea what it was for. In fact, there was a woman in San Diego who got a bill for the amputation of her left foot. And the accounts receivable at the hospital would not speak with her until she finally, because now it's a HIPAA violation as well. If it's not you, then they can't discuss it. So she literally had to go down to the accounts receivable office with her bill in hand, took off her shoes, put them on the front desk, wiggled all of her toes, and said, "Look, for real, it wasn't me." So this is going to be a real problem. Imagine like now you want to get life insurance, but your records now show that you have some debilitating illness or disease. And so because of that, you don't have it. What are you supposed to do? And again, it's a problem because it's also a HIPAA issue. Let's talk about what else might be able to happen. It's a real challenge now, especially because we have really moved to paperless and electronic only. So the good news is you're getting, for me, I had a skiing injury in Colorado, and I was grateful that there were electronic records because I'm allergic to sulfa drugs, right? So I was glad to be able to have those records when I was out of state. But the problem with that is that this crime is going to be a lot easier to really commit, because we know how many places have been hacked and how many places have issues. And imagine these are ripe places for the criminals to be able to get victims' information. Now, if you had, we talked about allergies. I'm allergic to sulfa drugs. What if somebody had gone in and my medical record has been changed and it said maybe I wasn't allergic to it, or I was allergic to it, or maybe your blood type got changed. In fact, we have a colleague of ours who one of their friends went into the hospital, and because somebody is a victim of identity theft for medical identity theft, his blood type was changed. And imagine if you cannot speak and they put the wrong blood into you. Yes, you guessed it. He did not make it out of that hospital. So it's a very serious crime. And in fact, I live in San Jose, and the San Jose Mercury News did an article that said medical identity theft, the one form of identity theft that could actually kill you. So let's transition to this. It's actually the fourth one. So yesterday we did the first 2. Now we're on to the fourth one here today. And the fourth area of identity theft, and again, we're going to go over 6 of them here during these sessions, is really character and criminal identity theft. So think about it. We talked yesterday about driver's license identity theft. If I'm going to be getting a routine traffic stop and I'm a criminal, I don't want to give him my driver's license. I'm going to give him yours because mine might have some nefarious things on there. But I'm going to tell you, we've had some very serious issues. I have a colleague of mine that I work with, and his brother was a highly decorated Purple Heart recipient that had gotten the GI Bill, and he was really excited. He was going to school for free. And one day it stopped. Why? Because he was apparently, according to their records, a felon and in prison in Arkansas. What would you do if that happened? Fly to Arkansas, go to the prison, knock on the door and say, hey, it wasn't me. It can be very tricky to be able to do that. And as we said, yesterday, how many times do you think a law enforcement agent or a judge heard, hey, but it wasn't me, I didn't do it? And so thus is the problem. Now, I always talk to everybody. So I actually chatted with somebody like, at the airport. And what do you do? And I said, oh, I do legal and identity theft solutions. What do you do? And they actually said to me, oh my gosh, where were you? They said, I'm a traveling salesperson and I've been on a terrorist watch list because somebody stole his identity and actually committed a lot of crimes. And this is where he was able to move freely throughout the country. This criminal was be able to, fund flight schools and all kinds of things because it was in his name. But now every time he goes to the airport, he's on a terrorist watch list and has to get one of these, come over, prove that that it's not him. It's really a nightmare. He has all this paperwork he's got to carry with him. So it could be a real problem. What about if you're trying to go for a job? We are always looking for agents part-time, full-time, and we would do a background check. And I was at a career fair one day, and a highly decorated military person came up to me and said, hey, I would love to work with you. I love your mission, but you're going to find all kinds of hinky things in my background because I was a victim of identity theft. And he has a stack of paperwork he's got to carry around as well. So it can be a real problem, from whether it's, not being able to travel or whether it's employment. All of these different things can happen, and it could be quite a nightmare, as you can imagine. And so we're going to be talking about the next two areas of identity theft tomorrow. And so if you have got questions, I can see your questions. You can bring them up on the screen. We can make comments. I can answer all this. So if you have any questions, please feel free to share with those. But we've gone over now driver's license identity theft, social security, medical and criminal identity theft. Tomorrow, we're going to go over financial identity theft, and we're going to go over the sixth area of identity theft, which is actually a relatively new one, which is called mosaic or synthetic identity theft. Then we're going to transition into the days following, who's doing it, how they're doing it, some prevention tips. We're going to do several days of that. So it's going to be a really great education as we go all the way through to our Cyber Monday. With that, take care, take charge. We'll see you over the top, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.